One of the questions I get asked so often as a coach is, tell me, Lee, why are my Scrum teams failing? Why are they not working well? And as a coach, it's my responsibility to share with them the truth and nothing but the truth. It's my responsibility to make sure they understand what could be causing these things to happen inside of their organization. So way back in the day, I was encountered by Ken Schwaber. And Ken and I had a discussion about the future of project management. Just for the record, this was circa 2003, as in 22 years ago. Many organizations have struggled to realize why Agile is the ultimate project management approach. It promises productivity, transparency, and value delivery in short bursts. However, many teams struggle and still struggle to effectively implement and scale Scrum, missing the mark on its full potential. So if you have a tool and you can't use it to its full potential, that's like having a workbench and only being able to use it to store things as opposed to do actual work on it. I remember when Waterfall was declared a relic of the past, outdated, painfully insufficient, and inefficient, and completely incapable of keeping up with the demands of modern projects. The question wasn't about which approach is better. The question was rather why teams are failing to embrace the very solutions that are meant to propel them forward. By 2025, I've worked in so many different industries, organizations, projects, and teams, and had seen the Scrum framework applied seamlessly to the delivery aspect, but also watched many organizations willfully fail when they didn't take into consideration ideation, discovery, and release of the product, so they weren't looking at things holistically. This all makes sense. It became clear. Success wasn't just elusive, it was being actively sabotaged in some way. Teams aren't just missing the mark, they're doing everything spectacularly wrong. And I don't blame them. It's not their fault. Imagine cracking open an IKEA box, bracing yourself to assemble a new bed frame, but instead you're greeted with a single image of the bed, like a holy relic. No instructions, no parts list. It's as if IKEA said, here's what it could look like, buddy. Now go summon your inner engineer and figure it out. Bon appetit, you DIY genius, you. The Scrum framework is, in simple terms, a glorious illustration of collaboration, adaptability, and iterative progress. No pun intended to Ken Schwaber and Jeff Sutherland. It just doesn't tell you how to tailor it to your industry, to your organization, to your project team. So guess what? It's your job to make it fit. That's right. You need to take charge and own it. You need to take ownership of this. And one of the things that I find when I go in and coach or when I go in and speak with leadership is that a lot of times they say, oh yeah, we have so-and-so in the organization pushing for Agile. They never take ownership of it at the highest levels. So I think one of the big things is to make sure that we're taking ownership of the entire Agile implementation at all levels. It's not enough to just hire a Scrum Master to enforce the framework. You must also clearly document how Scrum is going to function within your team, within your organization, ensure everyone has a unified understanding, and that it aligns with your industry, organization, and project objectives. This is the foundation for scaling Agile effectively and driving true results. One more thing I can tell you is many times when they encounter me as an Agile coach, they're like, can you do it for us? And the answer is no. I mean, I can only do so much. I mean, I can get them to where they need to be. But part of it is understanding that the role of the coach is to help you establish an internal Agile center of excellence that's going to help you and the organization proliferate Agile in a way that's meaningful for your industry, for what you're trying to do. One of the biggest challenges that I face, or that I see organizations face, I should say, is that the Department of Defense in the United States handles things differently than the entertainment sector. When I was doing a lot of work with Disney and Universal Studios, NBC Universal, what I was finding is that even though they're both theme parks, and even though they're both in the entertainment sector, they both operated completely differently, which was really interesting. And Agile needed to be adapted in each one to make it work. When I was working with the Air Force versus the greater Department of Defense, once again, we had to make adaptations. when you're working with organizations like Tesla or SpaceX versus other competitors, GMC, Ford, what you're going to find is that even though, yes, they manufacture cars, they do it differently. And having the experience that I've had, I've seen which pieces, and I think the big picture here, the key that I'm trying to send you away with, is that if you rewind all the way back to the very essentials, there are 4 things that happen in every single project or product that's ever been built in the history of all mankind. 4 things happen. Someone has an idea. That idea is either a good idea or a bad idea. We need to go through a short stage of ideation to validate the idea. Then there's discovery. What would it take to make this idea a reality? What do we need to do to get to an MVP? Who are our key targeted personas? Who's our audience? Do we have an audience? And then let's play out through mapping how that audience would use our product or service. Is it going to be meaningful? Is it going to provide value? Is it worth us making the investment? Then there's delivery or build out, which is making sure we build the actual product or service and making sure that we meet the acceptance criteria of the organization, as well as the needs of the individuals or parties who will be using the product or service. And then finally, there's release, making sure that it's something that we can actually get out to the people and something that's meaningful to them. Because if not, then shame on us. We built something that we didn't need to build. So if you can simplify it down to those 4 things, that's going to help you tremendously as an organization understand that Scrum is just a framework for delivery, and that if you can build around that framework for delivery, that's what's going to help you be successful in any type of organization in any industry. That's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed your $10,000 of free coaching. It's probably more than that. But if you have a question or a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at AgileDad.com. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care. Bye now.